It's time for the Killjoys after show. Let's talk about season 3, episode 1. Boondoggie, stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What the hell, guys? It's time for the Killjoys after show. We are so excited to be back for season 3, episode 1, Boondoggie. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. If you haven't already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzz TV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes, SoundCloud. Subscribe everywhere. I'm so excited to be back with my boys. Hi, guys.
Hey, Yael.
It's Zach and Steven.
Hey, guys.
We have returned. The trio has returned to the quad.
And only
if you
one
will.
of us will escape into our invisible spaceship at the end of this after show.
Only one of us
Which one is
a
it?
Hullen. Who is it?
That's an excellent question.
I know.
Yael.
Yes, that's obviously me.
Yeah.
While you keep up with us, I think you guys are in the chat, I assume.
I'm getting it. Yes, I am now in the chat.
Somebody's dealing with the chat. Zach, everyone can follow you at that Zach Wilson.
That is accurate.
And
that
Steven?
Zach Wilson, spelled in the real world, Z-A-C-H.
And in the Killjoys world,
Zake.
There's a like whatever the combination of
Oh,
an
the
A and an
AE?
E
Yeah,
are.
it's like
I don't know what that's called. There's probably an
Aether,
apostrophe in there somewhere where it doesn't belong.
yeah.
No, that's my name. My name is the apostrophe. She's the
Stop,
hyphen,
even.
and you're the AE thing.
Yeah, the hyphen, which is just going to confuse everybody.
Because everyone's going to be like, oh, it's Yael, but
It's not.
in parentheses it says Yael.
Great. Thanks,
What
Steven.
they're talking about is a graphic that Steven made, and I won't even spoil what it is. Just go to our Twitters. We've all retweeted
just
it,
don't
and you
look
can
at it.
find it.
Just starting off this episode, I apologize. You
Thank
can
you.
find me for everything that's about to happen
Yep.
in this entire season.
Yeah, that's fair.
You can find me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, STPHENLEMIUX, or on Instagram at SRLemieux. You can check out some of the photos I've done on there. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, including this one. Is that one going there? No.
It might.
Put a better
Actually,
one.
that's a
we'll
good
put
idea.
a better one.
Oh, Yael wants me to redo her face.
Yes, thank you.
Steven.
We will get to the hack
Look,
mods.
Steven, calm down.
All right, Jelko move, man.
I know, sorry.
We're going to start off real quick talking about what's going on in the rack. We meet Banyan Gray, who's this hot woman who's in charge. There's an oversight investigation. She's taking control of the rack. She's Hullen, right? We all assume.
I feel like we
I
have.
don't think she is.
Ooh,
Oh.
I don't think she is at all.
interesting.
There's a good storyline either way.
Yeah.
Like that could work if it's like she's just like this person they've propped up. But like, what would be the reason for that? From a Hullen point of view, why would you risk putting a human in there when you could just easily infect her with pollen and send her in?
Well, here's the thing, right? So they're from the Intergalactic Rack Federation. We don't know how far out the Hullen have spread in terms of like, we know that they have like a spore colony, where they're calling it, outside of most rack bases. We find that at the end. But like, you know, they're missing 437 agents. It would make sense that a corporation would send in somebody, regardless of whether it's Hullen or otherwise. I think she's going to be a key player later on who finds out what's going on her own. And kind of their knowledge, it's like going to be dramatic irony that she knows and they know, and they don't know each other knows, and then they're going to end up teaming together on something. Because I think she'd be a cool character to have that. Because, of course, we start out with Dutch being like, I want to kill them.
Yeah, I love that. That's her go-to. This is just easy. We'll just murder her.
And then I really like what's long-haired dude's name?
Turin.
Turin. I think
Haircut.
the way they're writing him in this season, like they're really I almost said foreplaying. I mean, like putting him at the forefront a lot more.
They're foreplaying him.
Just foreplaying some Turin in here.
You're shooting him from the waist up, so you can't really see
Can
what's
we get
happening.
over the shoulder? I just want to see him from behind.
Anyway, so Hullen is human pollen combined, right? That's where
Hullen
that
are
word comes from.
what we used to call
that
Section
actually
6.
makes a lot of sense. Level 6.
Level 6. Yeah.
Because we can't call them level 6 anymore because everyone that was technically level 6 is dead.
Oh, you're saying the combination
No.
of human and
Human.
pollen, the words
Level
created
6
Hullen.
isn't necessarily dead. They were released from
Well,
their
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
hold.
Released or free.
Yeah.
Within the quad.
Yes.
But that would have been only.
Anyone who was-
Only
sorry,
Arkin. Was it only Arkin?
Only people who were Hullen born from the
Arkin.
Arkin.
Wherever level 6. The
Yes.
other what we're now calling Hullen were never like level 6. They were the same like body like pollen based like hybrid creature, but they were never labeled as level 6 because that was specific to this branch of the Rack.
Rack's people.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's just Rack people.
Rack City,
But
guys,
so we
Rack
needed a
City.
new name. So I'm assuming that it's human pollen, but why they refer to themselves as that, I don't know.
I love that because I never put that together.
Oh, that they referred to themselves as Holland?
No, that it's human, the word human and the word pollen.
I mean, they're right. It's right there. HU.
Their
and then
entire
LE.
race is a ship name.
So good.
That's what happens if you trace human the English language all the way back in 1,000 years. Like they're gonna be all these words are just combinations of two words that like whatever they kind of sounded like they should go
What about
together.
human? Man, it was just hugs and man.
Yep.
And it all starts with TV shipping.
Yes, with Juicy, and we will get to them. At the end of the episode, we have this real quick scene with Turin, who I love that he's part of the team now. Turin says that the surveillance, right when the plasma died, there was a dead spot, and there are 36 cloaked Hullen ships, and they're waiting for something, and then Davin gets on a ship.
Davin.
He was
Davin.
alone, right?
That's
Like
the
we
name,
assumed
right.
that was like later in the evening.
Yeah, I assume that once Dutch went back on the ship to watch her message from Johnny, he was like, I'm going to take a walk. And
What
then,
was the? Where do we last leave off with Davin and his anti-Hullen abilities? Wasn't it just that with the worms thing, he can like?
I think he can control the goo.
Yeah, right. That's
plasma.
all we got.
That's as far as we got. We haven't gotten anything.
His body rejected it, and he can control the plasma.
Okay, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure I wasn't like missing anything.
I think.
Because I don't think he's like Hullen now. I think he was just probably like thing like, oh, can I try this out?
Yeah, I think he was.
Like it's
I
just
agree.
inquisitive.
But he like got up there and needed all of 5 seconds to make it warp, unless he got up there and the ship auto.
Yeah, but
I mean,
let's
he
cut back.
touched it.
Let's
and
cut
it
back
opened.
to the bowl of green soup, the supercomputer.
The plasma.
Yeah, let's cut back to that when Klein used it. I mean, if you can control the plasma, I'm assuming those ships work the same kind of way. So he probably just has to think it and it works.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But why? Like he just seemed so confident that didn't read to me like he was exploring. That read to me like he knew what he
So
was
it
doing.
might have
Kinda,
been
yeah,
that,
it
like,
was weird.
It may have been that we'll find out later that not to be all prediction-y, but when it was revealed the ships were there, he felt some sort of connection or calling or something, which led him to a ship, which led him to put his hand up,
There's also the obvious.
which is
You guys want to hear it?
yeah.
You know, everyone's talking about like the fact they discovered the ships. They're like, oh, a lot more happened than we thought when we got rid of the Arkan pool of plasma.
Yeah, the tree.
How did that affect to Avon? Because he was born of Arkan as well. So like, what got eliminated from him within those abilities?
Interesting. All excellent questions, which we
The
assume
chat
we'll
is
get
telling
this
me like I've been saying like the mispronunciation, like saying the space in Davin's name has gotten old. Speaking somebody's name the way that it's appropriate to and correct to say their name is never old.
What,
It's
Davin?
Davin.
Yeah, to Avon.
Yeah.
It
so
leaves
let's
you
move
room for a
on.
breath. You're like, to Avon.
Speaking of,
Never gonna stop.
Before we move on,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I still want to stay on this rack investigation because I think we get a lot of
I always want to stay in the
Dude,
rack
I investigate
investigation.
racks 24/7
Girl, who
nowadays.
doesn't?
So we get primo information.
God
There's
damn it,
437 rack agents missing. So I
and
think it's
36 ships. This show always was big on the numbers.
It really is. So 36, 437. What I think is interesting is like they don't give you like clues of to where they go until Turin's like, and he gives his explanation. What's everyone got zonked out of their minds when they were that. They wake up, have memories of them as level 6s,
Yeah.
and then they're fleeing the quad. Do you guys think that it's Occam's razor where this is the most viable solution, or do you think that something bigger is going on?
So I don't think that it's the level 6s that have all disappeared, and the reason is because when they're going through the wall of missing people, everyone that's missing is a level 2 or 3. Johnny's a level 3.
That's what I'm saying.
The
No,
other
there
people
was
are
there was
level
at
2s.
least one level 5 that I saw.
Okay, but everyone else was lower level. So the idea that someone who was a level 2 or 3 got chosen to go to level 6, we know that's not true. We know that both Fancy and Davin were taken, and they were higher levels.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Turin's theory of the level 6s woke up and went, what did I do, and ran away. I think it's the lower levels who were working with level 6s, aside from Johnny, who were like, what happened to you, and ran away. They're like partners and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just we have Fancy as a case study, and he didn't freak out after he came back from.
That's because he's fancy.
Well, I mean, there's the question is like he maybe was more aware of everything that was happening to him just because of working directly with Klein, but all that he really had was like the loss of his powers, and he maybe was like a little more independent, but otherwise he seemed to stay more or less the same.
Well, here's what that's why it's so suspicious to me, is that I don't think they got their cognizance and ran away. I think they were hulling from other plasma fields. I think that the rack is much more taken over, and the plan is, hey, let's evacuate all of them so they feel like it took out all of these people and they're no longer under our influence. And now we have these ships that are popping up everywhere. Okay, we have 437 rack agents that people think are running to the hills and getting out of the quad, who are just sleeper cells somewhere else in a warehouse getting ready to take over ships.
I like where your head's at. Let's talk about our rack agents. We have Dutch and Devin and Pre and Alvis and Fancy.
It was pretty awesome.
Have they all become agents now?
No.
Okay,
I think
they're
it's just like, screw it.
They're just like subcontractors.
It's the family the restaurant. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you're not really like a worker here, but you can roll the dough.
I love the interrogation scene with
Fancy and Avon.
with
Pre and Alvis?
Pre and Alvis, because they're
What is
just
a
like,
bartender and a monk doing?
I ask myself that most nights.
It's actually a joke. So a monk and a bartender walk into an interrogation room.
I love this team. I think it's the best. I want the entire season to be this team, and then Johnny can come back. But
You wouldn't get this dynamic without this being season 3. Like, if this was like the original team in season 1, like, we wouldn't really care about each character so much, but they've
it
built
also
them
wouldn't
up.
be as weird.
Yeah, they built them up in such different ways that you're like, okay, I know what this character's kind of attitude is, like the monk guy, Alvis. Like, you know exactly how he's going to react to things because last season built him a lot. You know how Pre's going to react to things because season 1 and season 2. And now that you have Fancy, after all he's been through, freaking patent pending Boomerang, you're like, damn, I like this. This is good.
I love that Fancy has fancy toys.
Right?
That he's designed?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, if he's saying patent pending, I assume he designed it.
Yeah.
Like, they're working with a guy that they shot in the heart as soon as he walked in on their ship. What if he wasn't a Holland? Oh, well.
My only complaint, and it's the complaint that I always have.
Not enough Lucy?
No, there was never enough Lucy. But Alvis, we know what the monks wear, and what he was wearing was too much.
I have to assume that in the time between the finale and like last year's finale and this premiere, he sort of had to re-examine his entire religion after the fact that after learning that the tree that he's been worshiping his whole life is sort of evil and taking over people's bodies, and the people that formed by the tree are gonna kill them all.
But when you're used to
Might
walking
drop the
around,
monk status.
When you're used to walking around in just a vest and no shirt, it makes sense that you would continue to do that.
I mean, Zach, you got to realize Scientology still exists.
Anyway, so Johnny has been dropping plasma trackers all over. Our team is chasing them down, and we find out that more Hullen in the quad were not Arkenborn, and we go to the Leith Baths where we meet Pippin Foster, aka
Martin
the
Shkreli.
Mouth.
Oh, sorry.
What did you
That's what he
think
reminded me of. It's like every word he said, I was like, oh god, this guy's such a weasel.
What did y'all think of Pippin?
He's fun. I like when we met him, I didn't expect him to be a character that would like stick around for any amount of time. But like, I'm not like, I don't like the character as a person, but I like him as a character.
Okay.
Like he's providing a fun dynamic with the team.
I can't
Because he's
wait
such
for
a shriveling little like pest.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings name, yo.
Yeah. I can't wait for Lucy to do something to him. Because he is on that ship and he's being disrespectful, and Lucy does not stand for that. I love when she starts telling them exactly what he said. So great.
I ship
man.
Pippin.
You shut
No,
your
yeah.
mouth.
Get out of here, you monster.
That was awful. Lucy is with Johnny.
Lucy has a one and only OTP, bro.
Have we figured out if there's Rule 34 for Lucy and Johnny yet? Oh, God.
Explain.
Oh, no.
No. People who are listening know.
Great.
But what do you
Google it. I'm
what
not
did you,
gonna.
Don't Google it. What did you guys think of this whole ploy? Because, I mean, since obviously anyone who's listening to this has seen the episode, how do you think of, like, they introduced this character who's supposed to help them in the black market deal when literally everything was already under their control?
Yeah, the only reason they needed him was after they did the deal was they got caught because of him.
Well, they needed info about the deal to be going out from a source that wasn't them.
Right.
So, like, he was the farthest away because they had a warrant on the other chick, so they couldn't really use her because then they'd be like, oh, she could be near Killjoys. So it's something to lure the Hullen out.
Right, but it also was that they organized the entire deal with her without him.
Yeah.
I think it was interesting, and I like that the it reminds us that Dutch has lots of tools at her disposal, and she can control the situation when she needs to. But I thought Pippin would be a one episode thing, and I feel like he's joining. Our team.
Seems like he's gonna be by the end of the episode. You get a sense that he's gonna be sticking around for a little bit.
I don't want him to.
Yeah, I think he'll be around till he dies
That sounds right.
in like 2 or 3 episodes. They'll keep him just enough because, like, you don't want to kill Johnny, you don't want to kill the Avon, you don't want to kill Dutch. Like,
you don't want to kill Pre or Fancy.
Yeah, so it's like, let's introduce a character that's dislikable, that can become likable, that we can kill, and then nobody will really be angry with us.
You mean like a Potter?
Plus, once we get Johnny
Potter.
back,
What? We knew she was
She
dying.
was so fine.
Was she?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I agree, but like, the relevant.
God,
I mean, we're overloading our on-ship team, our crew at this point. So if once Johnny comes back, and especially if he comes back with Clara
And
or Ollie, then I have to assume that like a couple people are gonna have to go off somewhere, whether that's dead or like to go work in a bar. That remains to be seen.
Well, you know what I found really interesting about how they played this episode out? First of all, like, this was a really good episode of television. Like, it was really good. Like, I was watching, I was like, how is so much happening in one episode?
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm literally thinking, like, oh, I'm about to watch The Strain in 2 weeks, where it takes 4 episodes for, like, 15 minutes of stuff to happen.
Hey, you're torturing yourself.
I
on
know,
that one.
but, you know, with this, like, I was like, wow, this is, like, a packed full hour of the show. So it kind of felt like a little bit Mass Effect-y in terms of, like, let's gather our team for the big fight against the Hullen. Like, let's take on Anila. So I see this guy sticking around for a bit. I see Ollie actually becoming part of the crew. I feel like in the coming episodes, we're going to get more and more members of a core team. And I think that, what's-her-face name will be part of it later on. The chick from the beginning who sounds like...
Banyan Gray.
Yeah, she sounds like Bunyan. So yeah, Banyan. That's how I'm gonna remember her name, Bunyan Gray.
Great.
I feel like she's gonna be part of it later on. I
And
feel
Turin.
like Turin's now like more part of it. So I could definitely see like a whole recruitment thing coming to our ship and like getting like 6 new people in the next 10 episodes.
I totally agree that that's a possibility, especially with Dutch saying, you know, we're going to war, basically. And we hear from the lady, the Hullen lady, the goal of the Hullens
Replace humanity.
is to replace humanity. So to make humans into a parasite puppet race. That's how Dutch puts it. Hullen aren't monster, they're humanity's replacements. That's crazy. That's like crazy that's the... Oh no, we're just gonna replace you.
I mean, it's the next step in evolution, yo. Come on, like, get with the picture or get out.
My bad.
Seriously.
My
It
mistake.
kind of is.
I really like this storyline of Dutch Davin and the Hullen, but I also really like the Johnny storyline.
Before...
Yes.
Sorry, I keep
No, go
pulling
for
you
it.
back. What'd
Well-
you guys think of the first, like, opening mission? Like, we open on them, like, invading this base, and there's only that one guy with a face that's like 3 times longer than any human should have. And no, it's like it was like interesting. And then she like cuts his face and like waits for it to heal
Yeah.
to make sure. I mean, what do you guys think of this, where he has the bomb and they obviously know they're coming after them now?
I loved this first mission because it reminded me of the first mission when we met Johnny and Dutch, where she's she's the one invading and he's being taken prisoner. It reminded me of that, and I really loved that we got that callback to season 1.
It was also just a great way to kick us off because we just like it's high octane, just like we're rushing in there, and a dude's head exploded. You're gonna kick off a season, blow up somebody's head.
Pre's chafing.
Yeah, I love watching
The banter was
pre-run.
great.
Seeing Fancy and Elvis like kick butt was really fun.
So
later on,
this is what has me worried though, because you see this entire hour-long episode tonight, and at the end you're like, oh crap, Dutch planned this entire thing out. Everything was playing into her plans, and I'm like, then you have Anila who's been around a lot longer than Dutch, who's just as smart, if not smarter, who basically controls all the Hullen. So how is what they're doing not completely playing into her hand right now?
well, we don't know that yet because we haven't seen her this season. We aren't dealing with that yet. Getting all prediction-y.
They're just going one day at a time.
Yeah, getting all prediction-y here.
One armless chick at a time.
Well, let's get to that. Before we do, I want to take a moment to thank our fans. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to everyone who is live in the chat. We ask you to do a very simple thing. Go to iTunes, subscribe. That way you don't miss a single episode. We only have 10 episodes this season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, always. So please make sure you don't miss a single episode. If you like us, you can give us a 5-star rating. If you don't like us, you can give us a 4-star rating. If you give us a 4-star rating, I suggest you write what it is that I did wrong, because I can fix it. I can do better. But also, let us know what you love. Do we have any?
We do.
Oh, crap.
Welcome back to the season. Lana Vase posted on our iTunes. Welcome back. Pippin being called the mouth and him not noticing how hot both Dutch and Avon are made me think of things. The Dutch pin things. Glad to see Johnny with an extender of his own, even though Alice is bigger. I'm sure Lucy will love it. Johnny Dutch remains BROTP.
Bro TP.
What's BROTP?
It's like
Is it bro TP?
yeah.
So it's like OTP but bros?
Yeah.
I see.
Got
Like
it.
forever, like the original, just like pairing of like they're gonna be
OG.
best
Are they
friends
endgame?
forever.
They're like best friend endgame?
Yes,
Best friend
exactly.
game.
Best friend game. Love it. All right. Thank you so much, Lana Vase. Thank you to everyone. We will read your reviews live on the air. That is our gift to you.
That does make me realize, and we're getting just to transition us into this
Yeah.
plotline. Johnny with a hack mod. How far does he have to go before he and Luce can really get down? I'm right
I
out.
like how like you're trying to be subtle but not subtle. How far so they can get down?
I was like thinking about trying to be subtle, but I gave up halfway through.
Well, let's talk about his let's talk about his hack mod. It's called a finger banger,
And what do you think he's gonna do once he gets back to Lucy? I'm just saying.
here's my problem. Sorry to Lovretta, who she really wanted to have it called a finger banger. But that is a sharp laser that cuts things. You don't use that for that.
No one
you
said you
can.
did. Yeah, it's on your finger, and you're gonna like use it to bang like hardware.
Yo, honestly, I really wish I was in the future. Do you have any idea how many times you shoot somebody in the head and you need to fucking peel their face off and you just can't because you don't have anything around on your finger?
I see what you're saying.
It's so much harder. Bath salts.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so Johnny is looking for Clara, but he finds Ollie Anna instead.
I liked that dude. That dude was good, who was holding him at gunpoint. And he's like, I'm going to give you the other option that I give everybody. Hey, you can, like, go back, to the factory. It's fun. Or, pay me a lot of money.
You like that guy?
He's great. He reminded me of, what's his face from Doctor Who? The guy who...
Jack Harkness.
Yeah, there you
He
go.
reminded you of
The
Jack
fact-
Harkness?
I actually weirdly understand that thought only because he looks like if he was playing like his like Jack's younger brother.
Sure.
Like
You could see it,
I
like,
saw. I
Fine.
could see
I
it.
could see that.
I could see that guy coming back. They're gonna attack the factory, so like he's like, oh, it's you again. I'm gonna give you the same option. Let me leave or I'll give you a lot of money.
Nice. So we're looking for Clara. Clara, we are going to Rat City to look for her friend Yoki to recruit hack mods to take on the factory.
Bum, bum, bum.
I love hearing about the different titles of the different hack mods, right? That he's an owl. That they're the specs because they're special orders, the jumpers. I thought that was so fascinating. And the whole like hack mod world is so interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird how it was like they took the set from Old Town and just added spinny circular spiral things to it, and bam, Rat City.
Girl, we're saving money on
Dude,
this show.
I get it. I just thought it was cool. Different filter, make everything green. New planet entirely. We're good. Or new city.
I wanted to talk a little bit about this interview that Michelle Lovretta did with TV Junkies because it's relevant to the hack mods and this world. So she was talking about how bodily autonomy, agency, and consent are her biggest hot button issues. So they're popping up in her work, and the hack mod culture is definitely a new way for her to explore those things through a science fiction and futurism lens. And so she said also, like most human beings, I have people in my extended family with various disabilities, and frankly, we just don't see them centered enough in fictional worlds. And this was our chance to put them out there as aspirational badasses. Yeah, they're disabled. They're also futuristic superheroes who can kick your ass. Owning both those identities at once is something you don't see often, and I really wanted to. So that's what I wrote. And I think that is so freaking cool because a lot of the actors that were portrayed in Rat City were different actors with disabilities using their actual pieces to be part of this world. And I think that really needs to be acknowledged and appreciated.
Yeah.
I'll tweet out this link. It is from the TV Junkies. It was an interview with Bridget, who is amazing, and Michelle Lovretta, who is the creator and showrunner.
That's great. I mean, any way that you can, Sci-Fi is the perfect avenue to explore those themes because you can use the extremes to really show off. I mean, my body, my choice, as Johnny said.
Yes, yes. That's, Lovretta. I just love her so much. We also meet Havigan, who is the guy who comes in when they're like, when his eyepiece falls out and takes him. And then I believe it is implied, if not just in the promo for next week, so I hope this isn't a spoiler, that he was part of the setup with the guy who had no face and then two faces. He set that up. He set them up.
Oh, you think that Havigan's the one who set that up?
I believe that was...
yeah, from the previews, that's what it looked like. Can I just talk about the guy who played Havigan real quick?
Yes.
I'm sending pictures right now to shows, if you guys can pull it up whenever you get it. But Havigan is an actor named Prince Amponsa, and he was a theater actor, and it was apparently, a fire that nearly killed him. He lost both his arms, and his face actually, like, that's none of that. I think maybe a little bit of that was makeup, but like, it's really cool. It just goes to what Michelle was saying, how like she likes to use actors who are experienced with a lot of these things in these roles, and like it really brings you into the show when somebody's like real. Yeah, you're like, holy crap.
I think that's so amazing, and yes, I think that's a great point, and hopefully we can pull those up for people to see.
I sent a picture of what he used to look like, and I sent 2 pictures of what he looks like now.
So I really like Ollie. I like that she's this new badass girl who's like down to take on the factory. I think that's such a cool... Like, she was like, most people try to escape. All right, let's do it.
This makes me not trust her.
Really?
I think she's hidden away Clara somewhere.
Oh.
I don't think she's a good guy. I think she might become one later, but like... It's just too convenient. Like, she finds Johnny. She's got the arm already. She didn't know that it had that thing in it, whatever. She's looking for him and all that kind of stuff. But, like, I don't know. There's something about her, like, just fainting from that I'm like, okay. And I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I sort of got the sense from this that Stephanie Leonidas, who plays Clara, wasn't available.
Yeah, so I believe it was actually
on
said that
Snatch.
she was unavailable.
She was on Snatch at the beginning of the year, the TV show version of the movie.
So is she not going to be in the season?
I don't know.
I don't believe
But
Wow.
it was very. We're
Spoilers.
very quickly like, hey, I almost had to like step back and be like, wait, is that a different person?
Obviously,
Like,
it's a different
No,
person.
they are as soon as you. But like moving
Damn.
quickly, and like the arm is the loud thing
Right.
about each of
Maybe
them.
it's just like, hey, she'll get down with it to go after the factory because very quickly they just have to get her on board. I just thought it was like random that she'd be like, yeah, I'll go after the factory like that, when it's like, oh, let me work with this guy I've never met before to put my life in danger.
So I definitely see where your head's at. My thought or my take on it was that she's on the run. She has this stolen, like the arm gun isn't Alice? Is that the gun's name?
yeah.
Alice isn't hers, and she's kind of trying to escape whoever put it on her, or whoever she stole it from, and she's just trying to get out of there, and that's why she's a little bit sketchy. But I think that once Johnny explains what the plan is, I think she was like, oh, okay. But I also think because she fainted at the end that she has some sort of secret
Thing going on.
Yeah, like maybe
I
the
liked,
metal in her
Could
is
be,
killing her.
It could be a memory modification. I mean, she's heavily modded. We know that
Yeah.
she's got some scarring on her temple.
She did say there's a
So-
lot of data within the arm and everything.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
they just literally turned her into a new Clara. I mean, the writers did, but like,
Right.
No, but I mean, like, she could if Clara if what happened to Clara was erased from her, as opposed to like her just not like knowing, like it was actively erased, and that did damage to her brain, causing stuff like passing out.
I like that.
but what I do like is that instead of like writing it as, oh, Clara's gone now, whatever, it's playing into the whole curse of Johnny. Jacob Albert says the curse of Johnny is eternal. But
Yeah,
at
I
least
like that Johnny's acknowledging the
Yeah,
fact
he's like,
that he's
everyone I
super
like
cursed.
goes away. It's like, yeah, well, stop wanting to get with every girl you meet, Johnny. Maybe they won't die as much.
I don't know that isn't it the Jacoby curse? It's not just Johnny that killed everyone.
I don't know.
Yeah.
People.
Dutch is still
Dav
alive.
is like.
Avin made the right choice. He slept with Dutch because she couldn't die.
Yeah.
That's how you beat the curse.
Yeah,
You
but
sleep
then
with
he-
series regulars.
But then the instant he slept with anybody else, she leaked green goo
Yeah.
all over him because
What
she
the hell,
died on top of him. Sorry, Davin.
It's a Jacoby curse.
So,
Tell
yeah.
us about Prince.
Okay, so we have the pictures of Prince up here. This is him from before the accident happened, and then the next picture is him. This is what they used for one of the interviews they did. You can catch the interview online. All you have to do is Google his name, Prince Amponsa. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Amponsa. And then the next picture is just another one from him on set, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty awesome.
super
And
cool.
Michelle's going to be using a lot of like amputees in this season. We already know that she's going to have what's that musician's name?
I don't know. She tweeted about it. I
I
think
literally had it
next
pulled
week.
up earlier.
I think
Victoria Modesta,
Yeah.
who does some really cool music, and like her whole gimmick is she has her prosthetics like 3D printed. So like in the episode, you see the preview, she's walking on a spike. That's like
Yeah.
the artist actually does have that, and like does all these really cool music videos with like different legs and stuff. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So check
Awesome.
out her.
This
Okay,
season's gonna be awesome.
yeah. I feel like it looks like they've given him a bigger budget too for this season, from this episode at
yeah.
least.
So they weren't gonna waste it on making a new town.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm very excited to see what they do with Johnny and like with Ollie. Casting and changes that were necessary aside, I like her so far.
Do you think
She's
Johnny's going to
fine.
keep the finger?
I was thinking about it.
I think it has a tracking device in it, and he's going to have to get rid of it.
I like that. I think he's going to continue in the mod world.
Yeah.
I feel like it's. I mean, they made it seem very much like tattoos, where like just the process of getting
Once
a
you
tattoo.
start,
yeah,
Easy.
and once you start, you're like, well, I want another one now.
I think he's gonna get back to the ship and the crew, and Lucy is just gonna be like, Johnny.
You let another piece of equipment inside of you?
Oh no, it's a big positive
Be
for Lucy.
fireworks?
Lucy's
More
just
sparks.
like, oh my.
I just feel like he'll get something more practical. Like it makes sense for him to have something more practical than like little lightsaber ring.
This
Yeah.
summer on Killjoys, sparks will fly.
Literally.
Okay.
He's got a welding torch attached to his.
A tiny little welding torch. When he was cutting the guy's face off, I was like, I would love it for him to slip and just go too deep and like not be able to do
What
it.
did you guys
It's
think
new.
of that?
I don't know what to tell you.
Like I had total throwback. I'm gonna take your face and put it on my face. But like, what did you guys think of like? Okay, they take this dude, cut his face off, and suddenly like random like white dude is in there, and you're like, what the hell is going
Literal
on?
blackface.
I was gonna say that, but I know if I say it, it's bad. But you can say it like,
Okay.
I don't know. I just felt like it was a little too much. But yeah, I'm glad you said it.
It was Tari's joke. I stole it. I'm gonna be
Damn,
real honest.
good. Then we're good. Yeah, what did you guys
Shame
think of
on
that?
you.
That
It was
weird.
a good joke. He's not on this panel. He can't make it. No, I think that, first of all, I like that No Face became Two-Face. I think it's disgusting that they peeled off his face, but there was plasma. So there's something Hullen going on with the hack mods.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that the whole hack mod storyline and the whole Hullen storyline will absolutely come together.
Oh, Two-Face is absolutely the key. Like that's what that's showing off. Like there are
Yeah.
Hullen in the factory, if not running the factory.
Wait, so if Hullen is like human and pollen, what's Hullen and Hackmod? Hacklin?
I mean, they're still human.
So are we gonna just see a bunch
Hullen
of?
mod?
Are we gonna see a bunch of Hullen like outfitted with hack mods now?
That'd be so
Because
cool.
like they instantly heal themselves. So like, what's the?
There's no
I don't know that you
disadvantage to
could.
doing it.
I mean, really, Hullen are just the ultimate hack mod.
They're literally
It's just
creating the Borg, Zach.
It's a biological version of it. Like this is technological enhancements versus the Hullen, which are biological.
Zake. They're literally creating the Borg.
I was like, who's Zake?
Hullen.
I mean-
and Hackmod. Zake.
Took me a sec.
I knew what he was doing. I was choosing to ignore it.
Zake, listen.
Look, Yael, if we're gonna go down this path, then Steven over here is. Anyway,
Don't call me that.
all right.
I put yell in parentheses.
Thank you.
So you have to say yell in parentheses.
Okay.
What? What? I don't
This
even remember
show
what
is
I
off the
was
rails.
talking. Anyway,
Sorry, guys,
Yes.
sorry.
But I don't think that I don't know that the Hullen would mod like that would become part machine because they're pure biology. Like they're.
You think that they would heal and it wouldn't stick?
I don't even know if they would go for it. I think to them they are perfection. Like the hack mod is just like a
To
slow
me, they're
way.
also perfection.
Yeah, but here's my thing. Why are they encasing somebody in another person's skin? Like, if they're Hullen, like, it wouldn't really matter if their identity got broken because they're going to die anyway. Like, is it just, like, undercover Hullen agents who
Yeah,
just...
I think that's an excellent question, but maybe it is that this is what's happening to the missing agents.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
That they're being put into.
Oh, that they're being reprogrammed
But why
and
do they- Put into
dropped
other
into
bodies.
other identities.
But why do they need to be put in other bodies at all? Is it
So
just, like, to
because they're
hide it?
missing, yeah, to hide them.
Got it.
Because they're technically AWOL, so that's what the woman
And this
Gray
is a
says.
world with like plenty of cameras and face scanners.
They
and
just, like,
ability
put the
to-
agents
yeah.
through, like, the Westworld machine and just spray paints their body into somebody else?
Yeah,
Damn.
good shot.
Stuff's
The
getting
chat's giving me a
crazy.
lot of grief for my Lucy impression.
What was your Lucy impression?
When I was like, what Lucy's gonna be saying? Look, I can't be Tamsin. She's the voice of Lucy is perfect.
That's true. She is perfect.
But I want to know what like Lucy is gonna say once Johnny gets back and he's part mod.
I feel like
part
we're gonna get
robot.
to see that.
I know, and I'm very excited about it.
You need to calm down. All right, I think we should, since we've been doing it all episode,
calm down.
we might as well head into predictions.
Should we?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Why not?
We might not have an
does that
engineer on our
Does
show
that
right
ever
now.
That's fine.
stop us
Oh,
from?
there it is.
I think it's Bree covering the cameras for now.
AfterBuzz
sorry.
TV predictions.
Okay, so here's
Hull
what we-
undercover.
Oh, nice. Is that what the chat's going with?
No, they just said Hullens are undercover.
Oh. Next week, the promo shows us that they need nerds. I was like, is that us? They need us? We're there. It looks like...
They don't need us. We're available.
Yes. It looks like Havigan set up Johnny and Ollie, And was it just me, or was that Dulcea Kendry?
It looked like her, but I don't think it was her. But no, it did look like her. That was weird.
I mean, look, I
think that was the girl they met in the bar. Yoki. I think it was Yoki. And that's why she looked so terrified, because she didn't really want to be there.
I opened to the chat. Do they think Dulcea Kendry was there, or is coming back, or is part of the show?
Oh, Dulcea is alive.
Yeah.
I rewatched the finale right before I watched this.
Oh, good.
And she, the last thing we see of her is her with, breathing.
Right.
Eyes, she only closes her eyes to take a deep breath, and then she smirks. I think she's already Hullen.
I don't think she's already Hullen. I think she had if she's alive, I think she had the option to become Hullen on her. Like, she had the plasma with her, and before she died, she injected herself with it.
I can see that. I think that we definitely see what happens to her and that she is alive. And I think that's
Look,
what we see next week.
it's science fiction. Like, if you don't see the body, they're not dead.
Also,
I think
Winona,
Johnny comes back,
Yeah.
but it's not Johnny.
You think it's somebody else wearing his face?
I think it's like a Hullen Johnny who's wearing his face. He's gonna take his face and put it on his face.
I want to go back to they're not dead till you see a body. On Winona Earp, we have a death that we still don't believe is real, even though we've seen the body. In science fiction, even a dead body is not a dead body.
But it's definitely not. They're definitely not dead if if the last image is them breathing.
Right.
Oh,
yes.
Ivan Soda wants us to not forget the hologram scenes between Johnny and Dutch, and then Dutch and Johnny.
Yeah, they have
those were emotional.
Yeah, it's just
emotions. We
Yeah,
don't talk emotions.
No. We talk about what emotions lead to.
They really miss each other.
And then fighting.
But it's really interesting because, like, the juxtaposition in those scenes are, like, at the end, he's talking to her being like, I have Clara and you have D'Avin. Meanwhile, D'Avin is being a weird ass and going on cloaked ship, becoming John Cena where you can't see him. And then Johnny doesn't actually have Clara. He has generic Clara.
That's so mean.
Generic Clara.
I'm gonna throw a crazy prediction out there, just based on and I'm not even sure I 100% buy this, but
I 100% buy this.
all right, sure. When D'Avin gets in the ship, I think he is his powers are basically getting reversed on him by Anila.
Explain.
He can control the green to an extent,
Yeah.
but she's had a lot more time to play with this.
So she's controlling him.
Yeah, I think so.
It does kind of look like he might be under some sort of something.
Yeah, I don't think he's actively undercover,
Trans.
unless it's not Johnny, but D'Avin who's wearing a skin
face.
mask.
Or it could be that it's not Dutch, that it is Anila.
Oh God.
We have now introduced that they look the same. I also really like her hair when they go undercover to meet with what was her name? Sweet Janet.
Oh yeah.
Her hair looks so good. I just need to say it. Her hair looked so cute with the soft part and then the curls. Oh, that's adorable.
Ivan Soto says that it was Kendry.
In the promo?
In the promo.
Haha, I was right.
Indeed.
Thanks.
Right.
I'm really excited to see, what's her name again? The singer?
Oh, Victoria Modesta?
Yeah. I'm so excited to see her because I think I saw a picture of her outfit and she looked great.
I mean, just a little bit in the preview of her legs.
You're like,
Looked
damn.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty sick.
Yeah, this show is real hot. Which is why Elvis should
that was the good little segue when how do you handle with hot situations with lack of clothing? Yeah, you were pretty good. Yeah, we're pretty good.
I'm sorry. Lack of clothing, my left foot. There was too much clothing in that steam room. First of all,
Those towels stayed on very effectively.
They weren't just a normal towel wrapped around. They were a special type of towel to be worn as a skirt. I paid attention to the towels.
Were they sewed into their towels?
I mean, it looked like it had a Velcro clothes rather.
Probably
than
for filming. They're probably hey, we don't want our wieners out.
I mean, I guess. That's how you want to film a show.
Yeah, I was down with Velcro.
Free the...
Stop.
Okay. On that note, thank you everyone so much for joining us. Thank you to everyone who is live in the chat. We are so excited for this season
We have like 12 minutes left though. Like we could wax poetic or like figure out a fun game to play at the end of each show.
We could, but I know you two.
Let us know in the comments if you want us to get weirder.
Yep, do that.
If you think it's possible.
It is.
Oh, we can get really weird.
I believe it. But until next week, Steven, where can people keep up with you?
You guys can keep up with me on the treadmill at 24 Hour Fit. No, I'm just kidding. On Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, STPHNLEMIEUX. On this show as Steven Lemieux, and then on Instagram at SR Lemieux.
Zach?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @ZachWilson. Stick around in just a couple hours at 8 o'clock, 8:10 Pacific time. I'm going to be talking about the season finale of Doctor Who. It was a crazy finale. There's a lot to dissect, so join us there. And some other stuff may be coming up later in the summer that's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned.
Maybe.
All right, I'm Yael Tygiel. Don't be a jelko. Find me everywhere on Twitter and Instagram at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIL. And every Sunday here on the AFTERBUZZ TV Sci-Fi Summers. That's 3 o'clock we do Winona Earp, 4 o'clock Dark Matter, and 5 o'clock Killjoys. Winona Earp, Dark Matter, Killjoys. Not the order they air in.
Get some sleep.
I'm going to. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Long live Jelko.
No!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
What the hells?
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.